Hey everyone, welcome back to another 31-minute podcast. My goodness, Jordan, you're back.
I'm back.
You're back.
Yep.
So, hi Jackson.
Hello.
Hello. You've been back.
I've been back, yeah. I've been here the whole time.
Where are you been?
Just trying to navigate the turmoil of real estate,
Yeah. Yeah,
Growth.
you went through a real
everything.
bumpy patch for a while.
Yeah, I'm back.
So we can talk about a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'm back.
I reckon today's topic is the most important topic in life. Mm-hmm. Not just work, but in life. And it's the hardest thing to do also, though. And you two are going to love this topic, right? You will. You ready?
Yep.
It's allowing your vibration to lead.
Yep.
Jordan's like, oh my goodness.
Nah. Well,
Frequency.
I probably need a bit of that direction at the moment.
Yeah, well, these topics and things, like I just let them come to me. And this, like, super strong, this topic we need to talk about. Because there's a few things, but allowing your vibration to lead. So if you put your vibration first, and you may or may not be at this point yet, where you're like, oh yeah, okay, cool. If you allow your vibration to be first and only focused on that, every result you want must come.
I'm not with you right now. So when you say your vibration, do you mean just the energy pulses?
Yeah,
Like
well, let's break it down.
Yeah.
So people can, I like this because you're at a different stage of life than me. I've been through a lot more than you in life because I've been around longer.
Yeah.
Jackson's going through one now, which we'll talk about as well, and a couple of different things.
Because there can be good and bad vibrations, right?
Different levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think with vibration, when you say vibration, I think of like someone
Yeah.
sitting there meditating.
A
Like, is it-
lawnmower?
Yeah, well, I don't know. What is vibration?
Yeah, it's like
as
a
well?
bit woo-woo.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
people use the word vibration and I think of like meditating and stuff. So
Yeah.
what is vibration?
I think that's fair. I think a lot of people would think that, wouldn't they? All right, so if we talk about mood, your mood.
Yep.
Do you understand what your mood is?
Definitely.
Yep.
What mood are you in right now, Jack?
I mean, well, a little bit like
You're just lawnmowering out.
yeah,
aren't you?
it's sort of like I had a line before I came on
Oh,
the
did
show
you?
today, yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. So you better get your money back.
No, I'm like I'm a bit like I'm like good, and then I'm like, and I'm good, and then I'm like a bit like.
Well, there's a couple of things here because
Yeah.
you've posted quite a few things about Logan lately.
Yeah.
I think even I saw one on TikTok this morning. I don't know when you posted that.
Yeah, like 11:15 last night or something.
Yeah. So you're obviously in that zone where Logan's quite emotional for you right now.
Yeah, he wasn't for a bit.
Yeah.
And then like recently.
And you went through a breakup
Yeah,
with your girlfriend.
yeah,
Yeah. And then I won't say anymore. But
It's
then,
all right.
So you've been through a breakup, and that's sort of, I think it's semi-triggered you in a way to go to a place that, because if you think about a week before that, you were buzzing real high, real high. Like you were just like pumping. And then you went through the breakup, which was your call.
yeah.
And then now that's taking you to a place probably where you're limping a little bit.
Yeah.
From what I see.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
I think it's like made me go like, what am I doing? Like
Yeah.
who am I? Sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like it's made me kind of just like.
Self-reflect a bit.
Well, the first day or two of the breakup's like, woo, yeah, single, free, woo.
Then you have lines.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it's like, I guess the day like 4, 5, 6, 7, and then onwards, and then you start going like what do I do with like, because you have the spare time now and nothing really to worry about, so you start thinking about other things, and it's like, yeah, I don't know how you did it.
It's a steadying process.
Yeah, like
for sure.
2 divorces and a bunch of kids, and like I always think of that and go like, stop being such a pussy. Like you'll be fine. Like you're living in a good spot and good job and this, but like I don't know. When it gets late at night, I think about like Sarah a little bit. I think about Logan, and then it's like, yeah, it's a bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah, because you're alone with yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good. And Jordan, we're talking about your situation as well. You were drowning like nothing I've ever seen before. Drowning, like literally to the point where I think one day you're just going to come in and I'm leaving. It's just too much.
Yeah.
But now you're riding high again.
I was just in the craziest overwhelmed space in the entire world, and I think I had the trickiest combination of clients I've ever had in my entire career.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, there's a bit of a wobbly patch in the market, and I'm trying to manage things
Your
in my own
tax and your
life.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just, but I feel like I've come out the other side.
Yeah.
I had death wobbles for 2 months.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. That's why I said no more podcasting,
Yeah.
no more nothing. So I was
Yeah.
like looking to take stuff off of you.
But now I'm like eating. Oh, well, I always was trying to still eat perfectly and get the right amount of sleep and do everything right. But no matter how well you do that, if you're in that state of overwhelm, like I was waking up like, okay, I'm in 30 minutes, I'm getting a call from this client. It happens every day. So I was like foreseeing.
Oh, the level of
Outcomes,
anxiety
yeah.
was like nothing I've ever seen, but it was pretty full on.
And then just all the properties sold, boom, 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 boom. And I feel like a different person.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But I was putting a lot of pressure on myself too.
Great point.
Yeah.
So, hear what you said then. When the property sold, that's Jackson's drug dealer. Think about that. When the property sold, you went to a different place.
I did.
Yes,
Yep.
but that's back to front, and that's exactly what I'm saying today. So
Yep.
this is it, and everyone does it. Everybody, myself, you, Jackson, everyone, and it's a lifelong mastery. This thing. So it's like when you want the result to feel better, quite often the result will elude you until you feel better at some point, and that's usually, and it's I reckon in the monks there, you went. It just, I heard you say it. Look, I can't do anything about it. It just is what it is. And
Well, you helped me do that.
and you sort of let it go, sort of. It's very hard to let something go. People say, "Oh, just let it go," but when you're in amongst it, like it is so hard. Like I got a message yesterday from a guy that is going through a divorce, and he's like, "Mate, I just need some help." Like, blah blah blah. It's horrible. It's this, it's that. Yeah, of course, it's a situation, But that just didn't come yesterday. Like that's been building for a long time. So when you've got energetic momentum, it's very hard to change quickly because it's going. It's like your breakup, Jack. That didn't come in 5 minutes.
No, it was like the fourth breakup with her, 1 and
Yeah.
2. It was like
And it builds.
builds,
And it builds.
yeah.
And it builds.
And I was in a
and it
very,
builds.
very like vulnerable stage before. Like I was like lost all this weight. I was just laying in bed from surgery, couldn't train, and it's like you get
Logan,
that, yeah,
this, that.
and then you get that text, and you're like, oh, someone cares
Oh,
about
when
me.
you got back together?
Yeah, when we got back together, yeah.
For sure.
So that's and then it kind of just builds up again, and you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Why did I do this again?
There's something like Bashar talks about it and also Esther Hicks talks about it. I'd like to talk about this. I know you guys might glass eye over a little bit because it's sort of like, I just want to talk about going and killing the world and things like this that you guys do at your age. But if you understood this now, like in years to come, you will be a master of your own world. Like this is where the whole thing sits. And Bashar talks about frequency. So let's talk about frequency, what that is. So your mood transmits an energy. Yeah? And you can see it. So it's like a reflection. So when you're feeling pumped, like now, Jordan, you're feeling pumped, is everything sort of lining up quite well?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, funny that, isn't it? So now that you've cured the other thing that was going on, sort of, for the moment, and then all of a sudden you go 10 foot tall to the next appointment, and you're like high-fiving everyone, and you're getting into your Audi, doing a burnout around the corner, you're drifting off to your next appointment, you walk in, you list it, everything's going so well because you're in that energy state that's matching it. Like it's all like a big pressure relief valves come off. But you may not have seen how that's happened, but you created that. So everything in your life, you create, the whole lot. Nothing that you don't. So everything that you attract. And here's the funny thing, and Bashar said it, not me, that when you have every frequency that you want already inside of you. So you don't have to become a frequency, you have to allow a frequency.
So can you fake a frequency? Because
No.
I feel like no. Okay, so let me explain this. So I thought to the people that I was representing, and friends and family or whatever, that I was trying to keep my energy happy, like as high as I could, but I feel like I was forcing it. But then behind closed doors, I was like, okay, right. Like every morning waking up, like, all right, here we go again, like deep breath, let's just get into it. But you can't really like, do you know what I'm saying? Like you're trying to pput yourself back
Here's
into
the
this
best way to
state,
look at
but
it.
you can't almost.
Yeah, for sure. Because how really, if you're really honest, right? Don't say it to impress or that. If you're really honest, what was the actual underlying current of mood on that particular subject? So remember, it's not your whole life, it's a subject. So this podcast has a different vibe that you bring compared to the house that you were selling, that one, the headache one, compared to another one, like 157 Ocean View Drive, where you're just like, oh, this is amazing, blah, blah, blah. So every single thing is a subject. It's not a blanket vibration. You bring a different energy set to every single thing in your life.
That's
your
a really
relationship,
good point.
Yeah.
That's a
your
really good
relationship, the start of the day, your job, like business partner, anything. So you got to see it like that.
That's a
So
really good point.
On that one subject, what was your real underlying mood?
Anxiety,
Anxiety.
overwhelm, and
Anxiety.
over it. Yeah.
100%, because anxiety leads into overwhelm. So I reckon that was literally clouded by so much anxiety that it was blocking you finding the frequency of the sale. That's what it was. It's so hard to do. You know, we've all got them in different ways. And so that's why if you lead, this whole topic is lead with frequency first. So if your job, if you could physically let that go, what happens to your frequency? What happens to
It steadies.
yeah, because you have an energy signature, right? So you have an energy signature that you're born with. Were you born with anxiety?
No.
No. Were you born with cookie? Tell me your vibration around cookie.
Love Cookie Mine.
Yeah, see, look at that. Smile, beaming, first word, love. Isn't that interesting? And that's how much momentum has that vibration got with cookie, that subject?
The most.
But that's right.
Yeah.
And you love being with it. Like you literally have blocked out an afternoon every week that no one can touch. Doesn't matter if anyone said, can I come list my house? It doesn't even matter if it's a $20 million listing that was going to sell in one day. You just wouldn't break the cookie thing because you have so much commitment and momentum around it. And Sundays, like you're like, I know sometimes you don't like sleeping there because she doesn't have air conditioning, but it's like, but you love everything about her. You can see it in your thing. But imagine every topic was like that in your life.
Yeah.
Imagine what would happen to your results, your money, everything.
So can you do that though?
Yes.
Can you?
Yeah.
Is it about, because business is hard, relationships is hard, saving is hard, training is hard.
Let me ask
so
you this.
Is it about how you set your energy around those things? Like you're very good at just going, well, this just is what it is.
It's a long time learned.
Yes.
So when you were born, did you have fear around coming out of the birth canal?
No, I wouldn't have known what fear was.
But you were just energy.
Yeah.
You were just energy. And you were born, and did you go, shivers, I don't like this hospital. Don't bring me into this hospital. I don't want to be this one. I want to be at St. Vincent. Did you do anything like that? No? When you got here, did you sort of look around and go, I'm scared as hell?
No.
No, you just looked for the boob.
Yeah.
And then you were just like there. And you were born into the world like this. So every single emotion is actually learned. Every one.
Yeah. I completely agree with what you're saying, but I'm trying to work out, well, how do you
to
get
apply
yourself? So all right, the GFC, perfect example. That's something that you can't control. You've got a business, you've got staff, you've got money, let's
say they all went away.
What
Say everything went away.
if all that went away?
Everything. You know, one day, and this is a great topic, Jordan, because I used to be like, what if you this, what if that, what if this? You know, one day the world might just get that out of control that you're going to have to walk out into the bush and never come back.
Yeah, mate.
I'm not joking. One day it may. You know, if there's, who knows? I talk about this with Mick the Podman a little bit. So is that worst case scenario? I think it's actually a really freeing thing. If I just had to get a tent, Tara, Summer, whatever kids want to come, off we go and walk into the bush and never come back, how exciting. Like, how exciting, really, to establish a new society. To say, okay, we're going to have Steinway society now. We're going to eat. But think about it.
Yeah.
You're just really attached to what it is, and we all love it. We love, house that we live in and all this sort of stuff. But what if you have to adjust? Where's the opportunity in that? And I think that's the thing, the opportunity. There's always an opportunity in everything. Even when things aren't going so good, the opportunity is, how good would it be when I learn the vibration out of this?
Yeah.
You've just learnt so much from that not so good experience that you had. Like
Yeah.
you were like bordering on a breakdown. You were.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't one, it was about 10 things.
It was.
It was one after the other, smack in the face. But to your credit, you just kept marching forward. But I was like just trying to help you adjust a little bit. What have you learnt out of that?
I can only do what I can do. That's what it is. And you say stop caring so much, which is probably one other thing. And there's lots of other things. I've got to live under my means. I've got to learn about money better, saving habits, get people to do things that I'm not skilled enough in doing with managing money. There's been lots of different things that I've learned in the last couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you've become a better person. You're actually more enjoyable to work with now. You are. Because you were just like really heavy and draining before. Like when I say heavy, energetically heavy. Like everything was like
I felt
a
energetically
boxing match
heavy.
with you.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I felt the same.
Now, if that didn't happen, would you have adjusted your... So
No,
let's
I'll
say-
be able to manage that situation
go.
much better again if it pops up.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's no different. This earth is an energetic gym. That's what it is. We are here to manage our energy and emotions. So this whole topic of this, lead with your vibration first, like lead with your vibration first. So things are always going to happen, always in life. That's how we grow. But if you look at it, so when you go to the gym, do you go, yeah, I'm not going to go in there, I might sweat.
No.
No, it's very difficult. I'm not going to. Or do you go, rah, I'm going to bring out the beast and let's go in there and move 0.1 of a millimeter forward today?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
And are you visualizing how you're going to look? Like your golf swings. How many golf swings have you done now?
Thousands?
Yeah. So when you go to lessons, are you there going, oh, this is so boring? Or are you visualizing yourself winning a comp or showing your mates how good you are, getting down to par 2 or whatever? I don't know much about it. Handicap 2 or something.
It's just beating them, yeah.
Beating them. Yeah, you're like, rah, aren't you?
Yep.
So that experience you've just had now is like, rah. So I'd be like, I'm never going to let my vibration get to that point again. Because I don't think you actually will. I think you'll feel it as it comes. And that's the whole thing. We all get anxious. And we all, like I've got a talk at ARIC this year and I've got other talks just flooding in at the moment. And I'm like, I just want to say no. But I'm like, okay, so that's my challenge. I'm like, okay, what's going to come from this?
Why do you think about that?
What?
Because I think you're one of the greatest speakers ever. Like, and so many, every time that you speak, people vote that you are. So it's like not just me saying it as well. I find it surprising that that's something that gets on your mind.
Self-confidence?
Yeah, but that's
Not a very confident person. I haven't been my whole life. So it's like I instantly
Haven't
go,
you done it
what
enough
if...
now?
Not really. I haven't spoken for years properly.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what if I don't feel right that day? Or what if like all these things come into your mind. What if I say something and just no one laughs? Or what if I say something and like, I don't know, it's happened before. And it's funny, I've given a couple of really crap talks before. One in Perth, I had a fight with your mum maybe your mum, and then got on stage. It was the worst talk you've ever seen in your life. Like I just wanted to get off halfway. I just was not in the flow at all. And things like that pop in your mind. You're sort of like, you move to that instead of that. Put me a listing presentation and I'm like, boom, I don't have any anxiety around anything whatsoever, but I've got to learn the same skill with public speaking.
What about Logan's funeral? Did that?
Well, you know what's really funny about Logan's funeral? And it's funny you say that. Keep going. What are you going to say?
You so nervous to talk. There was like probably 1,000 people, like 1,500 people in that room, and it was all about your son. Was that scary or difficult?
I said no. Yeah, I said no. No way. Not a hope in hell. I said I can't. There's no way. And Phoenix said, you got to.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I got it. That was the hardest talk I've ever had to give.
Yeah, I thought it might be. You did well.
Yeah. Did you do well?
Did I do well at the funeral? No. I was a man.
It was a hard day.
Yeah.
But funny enough, from that, you know what I say to myself now? If I can speak at Logan's funeral, I can speak anywhere.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So it's the muscle building. So imagine I said no.
Yeah.
Do you think you would have regretted it?
Yeah.
100% you would have.
Like the hardest thing in the world was getting up, standing and talking in front of his coffin.
Yeah.
It was the worst. Yeah. When his coffin came out, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm crying now. Yeah.
Well, when the videos were playing on the
I made
TV,
them turn it off.
You were like, get it off.
Yeah. I made them turn
I need that off.
because Paris came up to me and she said, Dad, can you turn those videos,
Screens
get
off,
them to
yeah.
turn that videos off? And then your Nan and I were arguing.
Yeah.
Oh, what a schmozzle.
It was a classic Steinway.
Yeah,
event.
exactly. Yeah.
Steinway Coulson event.
Yeah, you just literally couldn't look at his picture.
Yeah.
But see, like, not to use Logan as the thing, but it's not what's come out of Logan, but the strength inside of me because of that. So everything that you've been through, your breakup, your thing, we quite often look at the pain of the moment rather than the growth that it's going to give us. You know, people talk about my 2 divorces. That's not many compared to some. I think people have had a lot more than that. But they were very difficult. Like the last one was financially, like, everyone's like just going, well, people that know me really well, like, it's going to cost you so much money. But I was looking at, okay, well, when that's all taken care of, then I can rebuild again. You know, so it's like you draw on a different energy.
Yeah, and I think money just wasn't important to you at that. Like it
Still isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't place, like, if I've got 10 million or 100 million, it's not like I'm different person. Like it just allows you to do some things. And if you don't have it, don't spend it. That's all there is to it. It's like that. But if you allow energy to be I like saying vibration, but if you put your energy first, things will just go better because you'll get used, you can feel it coming. So when you feel it coming, you can adjust. So when things aren't in the zone that, you know, like if you look at the emotional guidance scale, if you can feel anxiety coming, you got to do something about it early. Like you got to do something about it where it doesn't get a hold of you.
What do you do? Go for a run?
Let it go.
Train, gym?
It's much easier to let it go at the beginning than it is 3 days later.
Yeah.
Because
what would you do? Would you go have an ice bath? If you could feel getting anxious, what would you do to counteract it? Like
move my attention
to something else?
It's only there because you're giving it your attention. So Esther Hicks talks about this, but it's if a tree falls down in a forest and you can't hear it, does it matter? Like, did it fall down? Is it even there?
You don't know.
Huh?
You don't know.
No. But if you're standing next to it, you're like, oh, yeah, it's there. And on top of that, if someone rang you don't know and said, Jordan, you're just a wanker. I'm never going to talk to you again, and you don't know them, how do you feel?
You don't know me.
But if Cookie said that, how do you feel?
Break into smithereens.
It's the meaning we place on it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So we're born, remember, with no meaning for anything. We put the meaning on it. So if it's a thing that you're managing in your life and you're going, oh, this is the worst, and you're playing it and you're talking about it. So when you're talking about things, you're making them bigger. So you're like making the momentum more. So when you're talking about the thing that happened yesterday and this happened and that person did this and this person, you're building the momentum. So why wouldn't you give the momentum to the things that actually you want? We're so used to. So Tara's mum's been staying here for a couple of weeks because Tara had an operation. She has the news on every day.
Bad vibes.
Pardon?
That's a bad vibe.
Well, I was watching it the other day. It's actually, I've started like observing it in the background because it's on and she's used to doing it. And I said to her, do you watch this every day? And she's like, oh, I usually watch this and this and this. And, but what a show. Like, think about what a show to wake up to, the Today Show. And they had, one was like car crash in some country town, burning building somewhere else, killing over here. I'm like sitting there yesterday going, wow, how did people watch this?
Yeah, that's a good way to set your energy up for the day.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Whereas now, that's why I put so much importance on the morning routine, the day, Like, how does that day look? And then the night routine, so the takeoff and then flying and then landing. And I put so much importance on it. But even now, like, I've drilled down so deep because food affects your frequency as well. So now I won't eat anything that's not good for my gut, not one thing. Like, I won't eat nothing. So unless it's something in with my gut health, because you've got to process that. That's no different than processing a bad thought. You know, like, and when I say a thought that's not in line with where you want to be. Jackson and I were talking about porn the other day. I don't know if you do, but we just don't watch porn now, like I did years ago, because the vibration is so low. And I won't let anything into my world. And when it does, I get it out as quickly as I can. Even though it might be very hurtful, you might feel, you know, knocked down. But now I think to myself, even if it's a result from a competitor, I'm like, good on them, and I move on.
Can I ask you a question? So this is where my mind goes all day. I'm like, I really want to do a good job for those people. I really want to get a great price for those people. I really want them to finish this process and go, that was the best experience I've ever had. I really want to destroy my competition. Is that guy that's the same age as me further along in his life? That's not good enough. Like, that's where my mind's going the whole time. But it's sort of good, but it also like is stressful and strains you as well. But it's like, if you just went, I'll just let them outrun me, I'll just do a terrible job here, whether it's a good price or a bad price, who cares? Like, is it a balance as well?
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, because you can't be there, but you can't let it like consume you fully. No. It consumes me fully.
Yeah. So comparison is not good. Comparison will take your power away every time. Competition is good, but you've got to use the excitement of competition to propel you. I'm very competitive. You're competitive. Jackson, you're competitive. Are you?
Yeah,
sort of.
Somewhat.
On your video games you are.
Yeah.
But when you're comparing yourself to, and you've got to see it like this. So your attraction pie cannot be affected by anybody else. Once you understand that, you don't have any competition. You don't have any, because you're attracting, because there's unlimited supply in the universe. Unlimited. Like when these MPs and stuff talk about the climate hoax, this is an absolute joke, because it's like there's abundance of everything. Absolute abundance of everything. There's all just a control and all this sort of stuff. But those people are functioning in a restricted vibrational flow in fear, saying, oh, the climate this, the climate that. What a load of rubbish. So with yours there's a Jordan pie of energy and vibration that's flowing to you every day. And it's up to you where you tap into that. So you could go into today and start worrying about stuff and you squeeze your opportunity flow off. But you could go into today and have a frequency formula every morning and then step into the day in complete excitement and appreciation. The gate's wide open. Like wide open. They're the days you get shivers. 3 listings just called me today. I didn't even follow them up or nothing. They're just ready to go. They're the ones where, like, Jordan, we saw a property 3 weeks ago. We saw you at the open house. We want to sell. We really liked you. Boom. If you're restricted by worrying and comparing and anxiousness, because think about what the vibration of comparing is.
It's a low vibration.
It's an anxious vibration. Yeah, they're somewhere where I'm not. Well, that's not true, because when you were in the crib in the hospital, you didn't look at the baby next to you going, hey, you got some of my air over there. You know, I'm going to get more like that. Not at all. You know, you're just doing your thing. So it's a really funny thing, because as we get older, we like look at our bank account and that gives us a feeling. We look at our results, something happens and we're like, oh, we don't want that to happen again. Like homelessness. I think about it all the time. What if I become homeless again? Now I've rationalized it to who cares? Whereas before I used to be running away from it. And the more you run away from it, the more you pull it with you. Because you're attached, you're keeping it alive. So remember, anything you give attention to grows in your life. So if you don't want to be broke, stop focusing on broke. Focus on, you can buy lunch today. You can buy a coffee today. You do have opportunity to create more. You can do an amazing job at your work. You don't actually need that much money just to live a good life. You don't. It's all these other things, like go, I want to buy a Louis Vuitton thing, but you don't actually really, you have that much money, then you'll have no money. People are on this roller coaster of like spending all their money, getting some more, spending all their money, using Afterpay, spending the money, a bit more, and they're on this whole energetic, vibrational roller coaster, and that's how they're used to living. It's very uncomfortable. Where if they woke up and said, never again am I going to buy something unless I have the money for it and ample money. If that was your mindset, you just wouldn't buy stuff until until you have the money there. And then it's like, that's a comfortable feeling. And peace of mind feels really good. When you have peace of mind, you're powerful because you're not looking over there going, oh, hang on, they just bought an Audi. They just bought a this. They just bought a that. Who cares? I couldn't care less. That's their pie. My pie is how good an energy set can I create today? So 2 hours I spend every morning doing my morning routine. 2 hours. I do, 2 hours. But I love every second of it. Like every second of it. And whether I wake up at 6 or wake up at 4, I don't care.
Can I ask you something on that very quickly? What if it got to a point where you're like, I think I'm done with doing the Stairmaster. Like it doesn't excite me as much anymore. Yeah. So do you think people should like pivot a little bit with morning routines to make sure that's always staying exciting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like today I just did breathing, ice bath and red light bed because you guys came.
Yeah.
I don't care. Just didn't do cardio today. I don't care at all. I'm going to take Tara to Sydney this morning, then come back again and go to work and meet a guy, and I'm just pumped about it. So you don't be like getting all scrunched up about stuff is the problem. Acceptance is very powerful. If you're going through a divorce, so what? Like, so what? Like the guy that messaged me to say, who cares? So what? Just be I wrote back to him, give her everything she wants and be an amazing person to her. There's this big, long message there. I get so many people. I don't know if people understand, but I don't read big, long messages. I just scan the first little bit. But all I could see was angst. And I understand that you're in it. But when you accept it, you're like, okay, it is what it is. I'm getting divorced. She doesn't want to be with me. Let her go. Like, let her go. And just, if she wants 70%, just give her 70% and go build 7 million% out there. That's the way I see it. Set yourself free. When you're energetically free, you feel amazing. When you're punching the other person over 5% that you want to, your life will be so squeezed off, it's not funny. Today, if people don't want to deal with me, does it hurt a bit? Sort of. But then I'm like, well, that's just their choice. That's their pie that they want to design. That's okay. It doesn't mean you don't get unhappy. Doesn't mean you can't sort of go, oh, gee, that's a surprise. Okay, well, fair enough. Move on. And when you move on and your gate is open, it's amazing what sucks into that thing. 10 better things than the other thing you were squabbling about over here. So your pie is designed every day energetically. Well, it's there, but it's like you got to choose where your dial's set every day. You might not want a 2-hour, Jackson doesn't. He doesn't want a 2-hour morning routine. But he said yesterday he just loves taking the dogs for a walk early in the morning, coming home, having his toast, doing his thing, getting ready. That's why rushing is so bad. I know we've spoken about it before, but that saying rush slowly is nothing truer. Because when you rush, you're not in the zone. You're not in the frequency thing. There's a flowing stream that's running all the time that feels amazing. And you can click into it at any point. And the way to do it, or not the way to do it, to prove that, is if something good happens, how do you feel?
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. Something good happens, you're like, yes. But if not much happens or you miss something, how do you go?
The opposite.
But why don't you just go, yes, I missed it? Why not?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. It's your choice.
Yeah.
You can go, yes, I don't have to deal with that friggin' wanker.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a good point.
There's a great saying, rejection is protection.
Yeah.
Rejection is protection. That's sort of how I see it now. If I don't get it, it's like, okay, well, that's just not for my pie, where my dial's set. Because if it was...
Yeah, it would have matched up.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
And so there's no point like yelling at the universe about it. You did it.
Yeah. It's not for me is a really good way to put it.
It's not for me.
It wasn't for me.
It's not for me. No, it's not for me. But then you've got to bring that energy forward really good. You can't bring its It's not for me. I'm unhappy about the world. I think the world sucks. I mean this and that. And then step into the next one and expect it to be better. It's like Logan, same thing. Like Logan is a very difficult subject for us because we all loved him so much. But it doesn't mean we're not upset about it. I think I cry every other day about him. When I hear a song, do this, talk to Jack, whatever. But it's like, whatever it is, now I've focused on, and I talk to Jackson about it a lot, I focus about the frequency of him. You know, and I find that, and I can feel it now. I can find where the frequency clicks in, and I can talk to him. I don't know if people believe me, but I can talk to him. Energetically, I can talk to him. But that's where I needed to move myself. So I can feel him, and I believe that he's around and, you know, doing his thing, and you can tap into him. Whether you believe that or not, that's my thing. Jackson is not there. I talk to Jackson about it a lot, and Jackson is on a process of himself. I can't change his process. I can just say, Jack, you know, this is what I'm doing, and it's up to him whether he comes. Like even his nighttime routine, and he's going to learn a lot out of this in life. He can't see it right now, but managing his emotions, creating the Jackson that he wants to do, creating the version of himself. He started a nighttime routine, just put his sauna in there, 15 minutes, that's it, at night, because he wasn't sleeping very well. I said, Jack, rather than me say, Jack, do my hour and a half nighttime routine, I said, Jack, just have a sauna for 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and that's it. Nothing else. You started doing that?
Yeah, it's working.
But now he's got to learn to do that consistently every day, because it's easy to do it a little bit and then you just don't do it. I can't be bothered today. But if he just does that consistently, he moves himself energetically to a next place, because at night he'll say, I'm really looking forward to the 15 minutes of nothing, sitting in a sauna, creating all the heat shock proteins and all of this sort of stuff, and the feeling he gets after that. He'll get so used to that energy set that he'll learn to operate there. And that's how you move vibrationally. You can't go to an energy master just because you feel good for a couple of days. Now, we're all on our way there. We're all learning how to do that. But you can in each moment say, how do I want to feel? That's what vibration is, Jordan and Jackson. It's how do you want to feel? And your feeling is saying to you, this is what I'm bringing into your world.
That's a great point.
That's what it is. You know, we got an iPhone to talk to each other. The universe gives you emotions. Your emotions are like the iPhone. It's saying to you, this is what's coming, Matt. You're feeling like this consistently. You're building momentum around this, and it's a flow. I'm just letting you know that's what's coming. It's going to match it. And that's why I refuse to go with it. Even if it's painful, it's like process it and move on. Process it and move on. Because I don't want the 3 weeks of bumpiness. I just don't want it. I've been there enough, a million times. Now I'm like, it's like drinking. It's the same thing. I just won't do it. Why not? One drink changes my frequency. One drink changes my frequency. So one is too much. One reaction of disappointment carried on longer than 16 seconds is too much. So I just won't do it. And if I do, fix it quickly. Don't talk to your friends. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't bring it with you. Leave it there. So every topic in your life that you leave behind energetically stays there. So if Jackson rang his ex-girlfriend today, his energy set point on that subject goes all the way back to that, boom, straight there where he left it. Don't revisit it, because you bring it with you. So what are you two guys going to do?
I'm going to think about my mood more regularly, and why I'm in that energy, or why I'm a set point, whatever you would call it.
Yeah.
And just let things go. Take the pressure off myself.
Not easy.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish on a couple of tips. Your thought creates your emotion. So what you think about and focus on creates a reaction. That's your emotion. That's what they are. So it's your thought that's actually creating the thing, the meaning that you give to it. Okay, so if I think about you and I'm like, think in a bad way, Jackson, and I'm like, Jackson did this, Jackson did that, and I keep bringing that on, that's creating an emotion. Or I could say, Jackson's a good guy, Jackson's growing up, he's a man, look at him, I'm proud of him. Two different things, same person. Your internal workings, I've learned in more recent times, is the number one thing, or number one or two. So how you feed your body, what you give to your body, and how you treat your body has so much impact on how you feel. I spoke to Tommy, that this is not me, but I spoke to Tommy the other day. He said, depression should not exist if your gut health is right. That's not me. So don't people write in and say, oh, that's ridiculous. But that's Tommy. He's got a PhD in nutrition, 40 years. Depression should not exist if your gut health is right. Is that worth exploring? And I know, absolutely, since I've been dialing in gut health over the last few years, more and more and more and more, sure, you see outside results, definitely, but your mood is more stable, you have more energy, and you don't want to do anything to step outside of that, because it's like, why? I watched a show on an ad on Ferrero Rocher yesterday. I saw it on TV. TV's on a lot here these days. It's like, but I never watch TV. Ferrero Rocher, the chocolate and the this, and they're saying how amazing it is. I looked at it and go, wow, I see society so differently now. You know, there was a post I saw from a guy who's got a degree in nutrition, and he said a cheeseburger and a Krispy Kreme, they're different calories and they're this and that. He said, you'd be amazed. Both options were rubbish. Both options were rubbish. Nothing to do with calories. I can care less about calories these days. I care about quality. If you put quality food in a structured way into your body constantly, don't drink, hydrate yourself, have a bit of a routine that you love and manages your energy well, you will feel very stable. And I think that's the thing that society's missing, stability. Energetic, emotional stability. Because the expectation that you need to be this, you don't need to be nothing, Jordan. You're perfect as you are. Jackson, you're perfect as you are. It's who do you want to become in the future? More perfect or a lesser version of you? And every day that's built by the choices that you make along the way.